Hey everyone, welcome to The Dish. I'm your host, Anna Christina. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're kicking things off with Awareness with Anna, and we're focusing on how exercise can provide stress relief, specifically through yoga. And now cancer patients are able to join in, as this is one of the support services that the Georgia Cancer Center provides for its patients. And joining me to tell us all about it is Monica Acosta. Yes?
Correct?
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did. That's right.
I've been practicing, and then I said, I'll just say your first name.
It happens.
I said both anyways.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
Now, you are the owner and instructor of Space Yoga Studio.
Correct, yes.
And you also provide these services at the Georgia Cancer Center. And I want to talk first about your studio because you're donation-based.
That's correct.
And you provide several different types of classes. And obviously, the one that we want to specifically talk about is the chair yoga at the Georgia Cancer Center. Tell me about these classes.
Sure. So in the studio, we have a variety of classes, you know, depending on what people are looking for.
Right.
It's not as specialized
Okay.
as the classes that we offer out in the community.
I see.
So what we offer at the Cancer Center is specifically a chair class.
Okay.
It's a gentle yoga movement class, sitting in a chair, not a tall one like
Not
this.
like this, right?
This one's very tall, but you know, feet on the floor kind of thing. So it's more tailored to the struggles of the cancer patients and survivors.
Right. Well, because you think about yoga, right? You lay on the floor, but mobility is different, obviously, with cancer patients.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
why is it important? What are the benefits to yoga, and then specifically to cancer patients? Why is this beneficial for them to be a part of?
Yeah, so yoga has a bunch of benefits for cancer specifically. Everything from alleviating some depression and anxiety to helping with sleep.
Right.
And even just opening the body in areas that maybe are like tightened from treatment,
Oh, yeah.
which is really important. But what we focus on at the Cancer Center, the Yoga for Cancer class specifically, is reconnecting to the body in a healthy way. So the physicians that I've worked with there at the Cancer Center, who are just marvelous, like fabulous people, we were really concerned with having the Cancer Center appear as a space of healing instead of just as a space for treatment. So what we do is slow, gentle movement. We do a lot of breath work.
Okay.
And of course, there are those additional benefits that the patients are able to take home with them.
Right.
But what we really focus on, and what I focus on specifically as an instructor, is not seeing the body as an enemy. So seeing it as a space of healing and
Right.
a space of joy, really,
Right.
you know, after all of what's
Well,
happened.
and that definitely can be hard when you're going through something like that. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and you know, just watching her struggle with those different types of things. And so providing this type of support service at the Georgia Cancer Center, I'm just amazed that you guys do this, and I'm so thankful that you provide the service. And I know that it is a healing and really a therapy for these, a different type of therapy, right, for these patients. So tell me about when these classes take place. How can we be a part of it if we
Yeah,
wanna be?
sure. They take place on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m., and they're open to everyone in the community. So it's not just patients and survivors that are at the Cancer Center.
I see.
And this was really important to us when we were building this class because we were wanting it to be a space of community for patients and survivors, which is really something they need, that sort of support from other survivors and other patients. So there's a range in there of people who are like immediately in treatment and then people who also have been out for a while but are still coming back because they need that support.
That community.
So, yeah, absolutely.
And that is really important. I think that you can find healing also through sharing your stories and just empowering one another. And so what I want to do for people, if you're not familiar with what chair yoga is, and if you're watching and maybe you are a cancer patient or a survivor and you're interested, I want to do a little bit of a demonstration for people. So can you take me through some of the things that you do?
Absolutely.
Obviously, chair would be a little bit lower than this.
We're a little bit higher up than we normally are because it's important that we have our feet flat on the floor.
Okay.
Because we want, in a normal yoga class, we stand. So our feet are on the floor and we create like a straight line up. And we want to kind of mimic that.
Okay.
So even though we're in the chair, we're still working with the principles and the foundations that we have in all of the yoga classes. So our feet would be flat on the floor, our sit bones pressing into the chair. And I think we'll just start with some finger movements.
Okay.
These are really gentle movements, and I usually will do these in conjunction with the breath. So if you want to do that, you can.
Okay.
But we're just going to start by stretching the fingers out. We can do this with the hands on the lap. So if a patient is newly in treatment.
Right.
Even this will be
Right.
take a lot of energy.
Okay.
So we'll just start with the hands here, and we're going to stretch through the fingers.
I see.
And we'll take a big breath
I already
in.
feel it.
Yeah, stretch through. And then we'll curl finger by finger in to the center of the palm. So we usually do this on the exhale, and we'll just squeeze there at the end of the exhale, and then slowly reach out finger by finger. So actually, this is brain work.
Right.
It feels like it might be body work. We can do that
Right.
one more time, bringing them in. But it is a lot of brain work for patients
Right.
to think about what's going on in their hands. So we'll stretch
And
that out.
put the focus on something else. Well, listen, I
Exactly.
know that you probably have more of this
I
that
do.
we can do, but if you want, there is actually a video of a full demonstration
Correct.
that you guys can visit. It's on augustahealth.org. Monica, thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here and for
Thank you
providing
for
this
having me.
service
Yeah.
for cancer patients. All right, you guys don't go anywhere. We're going to continue the talk on health. We'll be right back.